My last day at work was a wonderful day. This happened several years ago, but it still stays in my memory as what was my best last day on a job ever. I was a department manager at a major toy store that went out of business in the early 90s. The customers were horrible, and I really was starting to hate the job. I was trying to decide to stay or to go, and if I left, what to do next. I decided to join the military and had several months before I was due to report. I decided to work until just before the holidays, then enjoy a nice holiday season with my family. We had one customer who was a real nasty witch. She routinely brought our teenage employees to tears, but the store manager would not allow us to trespass her. We appealed to corporate, and they stated that she could only be trespassed if she assaulted someone. My last day finally arrives, and we are short-handed, and I ended up staying late when the store manager failed to show up on time to relieve me. To say I was pissed was a major understatement. He finally showed up 4 hours later. I clocked out and headed for the door. I was still wearing my store shirt, and I turned the corner, and there she was, the customer from hell. She had cornered our sweetest teenage cashier, and Katie was crying. I was done. I yelled at her to get the hell away from her. She spun on me and stalked towards me, yelling, "Who the hell do I think I am?" I told her I was tired of her shit, and she was going to leave the kids who work in this store alone, that she needed to pick on someone her own size. We ended up nose to nose, yelling at each other. I just went off. I told her everything I always wanted to say to a customer. I honestly don't know how long we were yelling at her, but then she did it. She shoved me and then tried to punch me. I blocked the punch and took her to the ground. I told Katie to call the police, and after they viewed the video and saw that she had assaulted me, she was trespassed from the store. I told the police I wanted to press charges, and as the police started to walk her to the front of the store, I got on the loudspeaker and told all the employees to get to the front of the store. They rushed up in time to see her in cuffs being led out by the police. I yelled over the loudspeaker that she formally trespassed. Merry fucking Christmas. She yelled back that she was calling corporate and would get me fired. The last thing she heard as she went out the front door was me yelling, "Good luck with that. I don't work here, lady." Other employees told me when I came to pick up my last check that it was awesome to watch.
No, I really don't work here, but try me anyway. I'm no English speaker, so bear. I don't know with me on any flaws or typos. Today I had that experience again, don't know why, but it happens a lot. Someone thought I was working where I was shopping. I was in a liquor store pacing the aisles for a bottle of adult juice. I'm not a goth person, but I like dressing in black. Choose jeans, leather jacket, and mask, all black. All employees in the said store were wearing red maroon jackets. When I browsed what they had on their shelves, this older woman, I guess late 70s, came over to me, looked at me and asked in a really soft, but still disappointed tone, "You don't work here, do you?" I replied that I sure don't, but can I be of any assistance? She told me that she needed a bottle of a certain brand and couldn't find it. Getting old is hard, she said. My eyes isn't as good as they once were. Of course I'll help you, I replied. That will be my pleasure. I had a look, browsed up and down and side to side, but I couldn't find it. That's okay, she said. I really wanted this for my son, but they might not have it in stock as it's kinda expensive and special. Hang on, I told her. I'll ask someone who actually do work here. They might have a look on their computer and check their stock on it. So I went over to the till and asked the man sitting comfortable on his chair and asked him. He looked it up and told me that yes, they had one bottle in stock, but that probably wasn't the one I was looking for because it was an extra special edition and extra expensive. Then he pointed towards where it should sit on the shelf. He couldn't leave his till, of course, because of customer flow. I went over to where he pointed and grabbed the bottle and showed it to the sweet old lady and told her what I just had been told, and she brightened up. It was exactly the one she was looking for, and we're very happy. I told her the price for it, and she nodded confirmingly. That sounded about right. She thanked me profusely and said yet again that she was sorry for having to bother me, and I told her that actually, this made my day. These days, I hardly talk to anyone, and helping out someone that were as nice as her was a pleasure. Then we went to the till and paid and went our separate ways. I couldn't see her smile because of her mask, but I'm sure she had one. At least I had one. Sorry for the lack of juicy parts and mad carrots, but this interaction with a well-behaved and humble old lady made me believe in humanity again. Edit, wow, this really blew up. Thank you for all points, awards, and kind words, but I really don't deserve them. I only did what we all should do in situations like that. Be nice and helpful to each other. I see some of you asked what the old lady were looking for. But first, let me tell you that in my country, everything is expensive and alcohol is taxed heavily on top of that. She wanted to buy a bottle of Hennessy cognac for her son. A regular bottle of Hennessy VS costs $59, 43 pounds, 50 euros here. But she were looking for a Hennessy XO for the price of $194, 140 to pounds, 163 euros. I guess her son had some kind of jubilee or something like that, but I didn't ask, as it wasn't my business.
Sexist Asshole at Tech Store. I have seen many posts from this Reddit, never thought I would be a part of one. I recently had to buy a new computer chair, so I went to a store a little ways away to purchase one. While browsing the selections, when a female employee approaches me and offers me the help, I had already decided on the chair and told her as much when the douchebag appears. To give you the full scope of this situation, I am in silk-looking long pants and a Pennywise t-shirt. The employee is in uniform t-shirt, bright red with company logo on it and khaki pants. Douchebag asks, "You there? I need help picking a gaming computer for my son." Employee kindly responds, "Of course, sir, let me get this chair rang out and I will help you pick one." At this point, he gave us a weird look. "I wasn't talking to you, I was speaking to him." I was a little confused by this and simply said, "I don't work here." Him apparently only just noticing my outfit looked at me and said, "Yes, but you probably know more about tech than this little girl does." After I managed to pay an expedition to recover my jaw from the center of the earth, I simply said, "Look, I do know a bit about tech, but it is extremely sexist to assume she doesn't because she is a woman, and I would suggest you apologize." At this point, he went beet red and began yelling at me, calling me every name under the sun. Some of the gems I caught in the middle of the incoherent gibberish were, "Effing witch," and "It'll freak you up if you talk to me like that again, so just do what I ask." Now, I'm still very calm because I've worked in retail for 15 years, so not the first rant I've heard. Work at a gas station, you will hear some gems. As I am about to respond, I get a gentle tap on my shoulder. It's the employee. She tells me, "He's not worth it, let's get you rang out." I agree, and we finish our transaction. As I'm being rang out, I hear some commotion behind me, and turn to see the douchebag being escorted out by the police. Apparently, while he was losing it on me, the employee was not idle. He had radioed her manager to let him know what was happening. She got me to walk away to the counter with her, so the manager could talk to this guy and eject him from the store for harassment and threats, to which he refused to leave, so the police were called, and he was taken out and banned. It was just so stupid that this entire thing happened because he had to be a sexist douchebag and couldn't show just a little respect to others.
I guess I'm the Pokemon Master now. My first post, from phone, but figured y'all might get a kick out of this, so here we go. This happened back when I was a kid. I-16F and my brother, 13M, have been crazy into Pokemon since it came out. We basically grew up with it. Back then, Toys R Us used to host official Nintendo-sponsored Pokemon League events each Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to noon, and we always went. My brother and I even started showing up early to help the organizer, a designated Toys R Us employee, in setting up. Let's call him Mario. It was easy. Go into the back employee-only room, grab tables, chairs, pens, promo cards to pass out, badges to award, and new badge books for the newcomers. Now, Mario didn't know shit about Pokemon, but my brother and I were super used to the league from when we attended at card shops, so we let him know what was what when he didn't know what to do. He quickly just pushed more and more of the tasks onto me. FYI, I was happy to take on the duties. Pretty soon my brother and I are kind of running the event, and he'd disappear for most of the 3 hours. No one seemed to notice or care, though since I was doing a great job and all the kids were having a great time. Also, I was damn near unbeatable, and in the world of card games, that makes you the boss. That's just how it works, lol. My brother and I noticed that Mario hadn't shown up in like 3 weeks. Not that we really cared. We just went into the back room by ourselves, carried the tables and chairs out, passed out the promo card to each attendee, stamped their badge books, presided over matches, gave awards, etc. And then, at noon, cleaned up, took the tables and chairs back, neatly stacked and hung around until our mom came to pick us up. So, on the 3rd week after noticing that Mario hadn't shown up, another employee, let's call him Rex, finds my brother and me as we're putting stuff away and asks, "Are you the ones that have been running the Pokemon thing the last few weeks?" Yes. We answer, and you can visibly see a look of oh shit on his face, like he wasn't sure what to do now. So he stands there thinking for a bit and then asks, "How old are you?" 15, I answer. "Okay, don't go anywhere." He leaves and comes back and gets basic info from me, like name, address, etc. Bless my naive little heart, I answer everything. Then we leave. Next set, business as usual. The following set, Rex shows up after we get done putting away all the stuff and hands me an envelope. Inside is a paycheck for like $130. It was back pay for all the hours I had worked. Turns out Rex was the manager, and he'd been getting so many compliments from the parents about their employee that runs the Pokemon League that he'd been trying to find that employee for weeks, but all his employees kept saying it's not me. Apparently it was a complete mystery to everyone how the tables and chairs were being put out and being put back, and who was actually running the event. Remember, my brother, or just another pair of kids in a crowd of 25-plus kids ages 6 to 30 of random players. As far as the Toys R Us staff was concerned, it was a ghost running the events. And that's how I accidentally got my first job, because parents just assumed I worked there and the manager ran with it, lol. Oh, as for Mario, I never found out what happened to him, but I never saw him again. And also, to this day, 38, I still have it in my resume that my first job was as a Pokemon master. Strange thing is, not a single employer has ever questioned it, and I've gotten some pretty high-level jobs, so shrugs.
Check out my other wonderful videos.